Okay, this is the last video I'm going to do on this computer. And this is also the last video of the series of our journey across the Atlantic. It's finally getting nice out, it's summertime, it's breezy out. This is our trip as we went through Nassau in the Bahamas. And we sailed up to Nassau, and we knew that we were going to have a 2-day run to Florida. We were super excited to start heading back home.
Some spaghetti. Hey, Courtney. And we're about to put our square sail up because the jib is flapping around. They're running wing at wing. We're going to put up our square on this side, just one side. See how that works.
And prepare ourselves for a home landing, and just we were so stoked and excited because after 2 years of traveling and just wanting to see family and see Ava was definitely important for us. Anchored there and restocked, did what we needed to do. We provisioned through the town and anchored amongst the cruise ships, walking around and saw it's a beautiful little area. There's some beautiful places to see and really good conch under the bridge. And you go to the islands to the north and it's beautiful. Walk around white sandy beach. And many people are familiar with the Junkanoo, the parade. You may want to turn your speakers down. This is actually, we're going to leave the next day, so we were checking the engine, and it was leaking a little fuel around the injector pump. So Pete was running the engine and just kind of tightening things, and all of a sudden it started revving up real high. First I thought maybe he hit the shifter down below. It wasn't in gear, it was in neutral. Meanwhile, the engine is just screaming. I mean, it is just going as high of revs as it can go. And as soon as it gets to the highest revs, it would fall back down to nothing. So it's just in the start of what's called a runaway diesel. And if anybody has ever experienced a runaway diesel, it is nightmarish. I've never had something as scary as an engine that you cannot stop. What to do to stop it is you can take a book and put it over the air breather. Don't put your hand over the air breather because it'll suck your hand into the engine. We at the time were so panicked with the engine running away that the first thing we thought of was, okay, pull the solenoid. So we tried pulling the solenoid, nothing. We said, well, let's cut the fuel. And of course, whenever you need to take a hose off, you need a straight slot screwdriver to get the hose clamp off of the hose. And when you need a straight slot screwdriver, there's always Phillips heads. So as you're in a panic, you're trying to look for a straight slot screwdriver. We tried kinking the hose. We just ripped the damn hose off the engine, and that actually stopped it. So there we were with no engine. I hope you guys can hear this. It's really breezy outside, so I'm hoping that the mic is picking up my voice. Anyway, so there we are without an engine, and in order to get out of the harbor we were in, we needed an engine. Okay, camera switching. I was getting uncomfortable. So this left us with a dilemma. We went through a whole systematic trying to figure out what made our engine run away. Obviously, oil was getting into our sump, which made the runaway. So if ever you have a diesel engine, don't ever overfill the oil. But why our engine was making oil was the problem. We ended up after a lot of trial and error, found out that it was our injector pump. And also we had the diesel bug. Diesel bug is what had probably ruined a seal on our injector pump, the seal that goes in between the injector and the engine. We cleaned the engine, fixed the injector pump. So Pete decided he was going to go to shore. When he went to do that, I stayed on the boat, and I was cleaning up and putting tools away. I mean, it was the whole boat had just looked like it had exploded because we had so many tools and things to fix the engine and get everything ready. There was a storm ahead, and it was real black looking. When a water spout actually came up, and it was really scary. The only thing I could see, everything went black, and there was lightning, and there was so much lightning that it hit behind Norna and actually made Norna rock. And I could see out of our port, that there was a mast of one boat, and that's the only boat I could see was their mast. And their mast was going from port side to starboard side to behind us to in front of us. And eventually that boat dragged into our bowsprit during the storm. And I ran outside, but there's nothing I can do. The boat was lurching so horribly, and there was so much lightning. The gentleman who had dragged into our boat was working furiously to get his anchor up, as he had only a hand crank windlass. It went from a nice breeze like today to 70 miles an hour, hail. It sounded like a train was going through the harbor, and I've never experienced something as scary as that. So after the storm, we had dragged. We actually dragged right next to a catamaran. I could actually hand them a cup of coffee, and I waited for a good 45 minutes for Pete to arrive. I saw him coming with the little coconut dinghy, and he said that it had sunk because it is a wood dinghy, so it didn't fully sink. It had filled with water, but luckily the engine was not under the water. There was finally calm. Our engine was finally fixed. It was time to go home. We were ready to go home. And we arrived in Cape Canaveral. Went over and saw Ava and gave her a hug, and spent pretty much the next week cruising with her up to St. Augustine. Florida, because Florida is beautiful, and there's springs, and there's beaches, and there's surfing, and there's so much stuff in America and in our own country that is so beautiful and so worth seeing. That's the end of the series on my book, Accidental Sailor Girl. I will also post some behind the scenes of a lot of my videos, some extras, and little tidbits of the journey. During our journey, I didn't think I was going to make a YouTube channel. I just had taken pictures and videos of our travels and didn't think really anything would come of it until I wrote my book, Accidental Sailor Girl. And I'm really glad that I had started the channel. It's been really a great experience, and meeting a lot of really cool people, and people like you. And thank you for supporting me and subscribing and liking my channel. And please don't forget to get a copy of my book, Accidental Sailor Girl. And happy sailing. Even if you're not a sailor, happy sailing.